All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to get into today is it's not about the brand, it's about the fit. What I'm going to get into is mainly for men regarding, their clothes fitting them correctly. I've been doing a lot of videos on different pieces, I guess you could say, regarding the garment or wardrobe for men. That would include different types of shirts, pants, vests, shoes, accessories, and so on. But what I want to get into today, just being very specific, is, really making sure your clothes fit you perfectly. And, when I say perfectly, I think you know what I mean. Just fit you right. They look like they were almost made for you. I've even done videos where, I'm trying to help a lot of guys save money and live an extraordinary life affordably. And a lot of times people think that they have to wear all these expensive clothes, a lot of times, to feel a certain way. And of course, I've been there. You can wear expensive clothes and feel great and look great. You can also wear really reasonably priced clothes and have them tailored and look just as good. Okay? I talk about that a lot, but people can't seem to get that through their head sometimes for some reason. But I'm here to tell you, one of the sayings I used to say is you don't have to have your clothes tailor-made. They just need to be tailored. And I've had clothes tailor-made, especially when I was younger throughout my life. And it's great. But after spending a substantial amount of money doing that, I don't think it was worth it, especially considering, like a lot of people, my weight was fluctuating and I didn't end up where I started by any means. I actually lost 40, 50 pounds because of me working out and all these other things. But a lot of times you buy certain clothes that you're going to maybe not fit into the future. Maybe you'll lose weight, maybe you'll gain weight, whatever the case may be. Sure, some things can be adjusted, but a lot of times it never looks the same. So let's put that aside. And, if you have certain brands you like, especially brands that are show-off brands, specifically, what when you wear that brand, people know what it is. And I'm not talking about a knockoff because I'm not a bootleg knockoff type guy. I just never was. I was either legit or nothing for the most part. I'm telling you right now. But what I found out throughout my life is I can still be legit, but what I would do is get it consignment or resale instead of paying top dollar like everybody else and trying to find it where it's almost brand new or mint. It was kind of like a treasure hunt for me after a while, and finding unique pieces and also finding pieces that nobody else had, even including vintage. But back to, a brand, if you love a certain brand, you love it. I get it. 100%. Some brands we just know look great on us. And if that's very important to you, then stick with it. Just make sure, again, when you get it, it fits you correctly or fits you the way you want it to fit you. I know, like a lot of people, I've been through those phases where sometimes I like clothes to look baggy. Other times I like them to be more fitted. So it varies. I get that. And when I say fitted or fit, I don't mean they have to be, specifically, what I mean when I say fitted, like it has to be very tight. That's not what I'm saying. I want it to fit you correctly. But I am here to tell you something that, a lot of people don't discuss is a lot of high-end brands, especially very high-end brands, they don't even have a logo on their, you don't even know what it is, right? And, I was in, where was I? I was in Italy, and I was wearing a lot of different clothes. And like if I wear sometimes, say, a Burberry shirt, you can kind of know it's Burberry, right? But then again, I can wear something where it could be like a Zegna sport coat, and those can be $2,500 up to $5,000 or whatever. You wouldn't know the difference between that and a coat maybe that I can get somewhere else, say for a couple $100. That's very nice as well. Maybe not the fabric. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Zegna is going to destroy it. But if you put them side by side and I had them tailored, they look very similar. And again, you don't even know what that brand is. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'm not saying I like bootleg, but sometimes I like to wear certain things you can get for 80% less that look almost identical to the brand that I used to truly love. And, I think a lot of people need to pay attention to those type of things, especially if you want to start dressing a certain way and you can't afford it, okay? Because the reality is, a lot of us can't afford or couldn't afford or may not be able to afford in the future. I don't know. Things that maybe, that you want. And it's okay. I'm here to tell you, for starters, like, don't feel bad when it comes to, I believe, not being able, when it comes to clothing or accessories or things. If you can't afford them, it's okay. I'm here to tell you, I don't give a shit who the hell you are. I look at clothes as being disposable. I talk a lot about that on my podcast and my videos. It is just something that you're wearing at this point in time. It may not even be in style in the future. And I'm not saying anything goes in and out of style because I like vintage clothes. But clothes are just meant to be worn and they're going to get worn out. But I think a lot of people do have a certain desire to wear certain brands and they don't get to wear them and they get depressed and they get miserable. Here's the deal, man. You I'm sure can find clothes that look practically or just as nice, for a lot less money. But again, they have to fit you correctly. You also have to know how to stylize yourself and take your time doing this. It's not just about clothes. I can take the top brands in the world, and if I gave it to somebody who has no confidence, doesn't have good posture, doesn't know how to carry themselves, how does that work? And I think you've seen these type of people where, they may, you've seen people, I guess you could say on the other side, that don't have a lot, but they have a lot of class. They may not have the top brands, but they know how to carry themselves. And you know who I'm talking about. Like, they don't have the money necessarily to pull off what maybe like millionaires pull off or what a lot of wealthy people. But when you see them, you're like, man, you got a great style. You just look good. You can do that as well. This isn't rocket science. But again, you got to find what works for you. You got to find clothes that fit you correctly or have them tailored, spending that little extra money, because most of the time off the rack, it may fit you in some areas. I discussed it a lot of times, but not entirely, right? It could fit you up here, but it's too baggy on the bottom. It could be fit you in the midsection, but it's too, I wouldn't even mess with the shoulders, but the arms may be too long, like the cut of it, or who knows what it is. It doesn't always fit you perfectly. Just by doing some tweaks can make it look like just a regular style outfit to something very unique and great. Like that really pops. But again, you got to also put some time in figuring out what colors work for you. Now, when I say these things, don't think it's daunting. It's not that hard to figure out. Sure, you could go to somewhere like Neiman Marcus or somewhere and get your colors done, and they'll say, okay, this works for you and this works for you. But you can figure it out on your own. That I can assure you. Start putting clothes on or even go with somebody who knows what they're doing, and you'll start to see what works. But also pay attention, because a lot of times, if you say you're on the East Coast, during the summer, you're going to be a lot more tanner than in the winter. Make sure kind of you got colors that work all, year round. If it's just winter clothes, that makes sense. But pay attention to those type of things. But you want to have colors that work for you. All right. But again, this isn't rocket science. Pants, you can basically wear any style pants you want. Shoes, you can wear any color you want. Shirts, you got to pay a little more attention to, right? Even certain things, it could be hats, glasses, whatever the case may be. Just make sure they look good on you and your clothes, again, fit. All right. That's really all I wanted to talk about in this, because I just think so many people get lost. Also thinking that like dressing a certain way takes so much work. And once you start doing it, it does it. It'll just start to work effortlessly. It'll just become effortless. Even shopping for clothes, like you may think, oh man, it's daunting. I got to go in there. I never find the right size. I can never find the right style. Or I go there and nothing fits me correctly or whatever. That can happen. But the more you start learning about what brands that work for you or what look you're looking for, what type of sales, what type of stores to go to, it'll just start flowing. I can assure you. And, I talk a lot about resale consignment. Here's the thing too. I'm better at buying one piece here and there. I think what gets daunting on a lot of people is they think when they go out shopping, like they've hit the wall and they're like, oh my God, I need shirts. I need pants. So they just go to the mall that day and they just start shopping like an animal. And they got to buy 3-4 pairs of pants. They're looking for different colors, different cuts, styles, same with shirts. Like, yeah, that can become very aggravating, because it's kind of intense, especially if, say, you got to go to a wedding or a doing and all of a sudden, oh man, I ain't got a suit. I got to get one by tonight, or I got to get one fitted and all this. Yeah, you kind of put yourself under a lot of stress, but you don't have to put yourself under stress when it comes to clothing. Just take your time and buy clothes that you see, that you like, hopefully on sale, I would recommend. But if you see clothes you like, get them. And again, it may not fit you perfectly at that point in time. Take them, get them tailored. Just take your time. There's no race to like build up this wardrobe that I think a lot of people think that they have to build up when they decide they need to build one up. Does that make sense? Yeah, like all of a sudden a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to change my identity, or I just lost 20 pounds. I got to buy all these new clothes. And then they go on a tyrant, like to go buy all these new clothes, which I wouldn't recommend until you definitely make sure you're going to hold that weight. But regardless, just start off buying a piece here and there. Just start to figure out really what type of, look you're looking for, because as time goes on, you're kind of always evolving, I believe. Not only is fashion changing, but your taste may be changing. So a lot of people may spend too much on one day of shopping for a bunch of different clothes where, say, 6 months down the line, you're like, I don't even like this. Why did I don't even wear this that often. I didn't realize I looked like this, or I'm not even into this brand anymore. So be aware of all those type of things, all right? But definitely, bottom line is make sure your clothes fit. If you want to check out some of my other videos, I did videos even specifically like, why aren't your pants fitting you correctly? Why aren't your shirts fitting you correctly? I get into something very detailed on what to look out for and how to shop for these pieces and how to save money. I mean, really, when it comes to buying clothing, because a lot of people spend too much money and they end up having thousands upon thousands of dollars sitting in their closet with things they don't wear. It's dead inventory. It's like having dead money. All right. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find me on richcelenza.com. If you get a chance, also subscribe. You got any questions or comments, I'll help you in any way I can. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm some fashion guru, but I think I've been around the block my entire life, and I can definitely help people. But, like I said, I get there are certain brands, but the key to anything is making sure it looks good on you. All right. That's what you really got to pay attention to, because too many people get caught up on looking. It could be celebrities. It could be whoever wearing certain brands going, man, that looks awesome. I want to wear it. And you may wear it. It may look good on you. But then again, you just may not look good in it. All right. So you just got to sometimes find what looks great on you. All right. All right. Take care. And I wish you nothing but the best.